Belief, expectation, and your identity are, in my opinion, our greatest human superpowers that we've been given. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why that is and what you can do to make them work for you. My name is Kenneth Ott, and welcome to Grow Time, where we explore ideas to help you live a high-performance and God-honoring life. And today, I want to talk about the idea of belief and how identity influences your belief. Just to kind of say a couple things, it's been my word for the year. I choose a word every year, and it's been so powerful this year that it's going to be one of the words for my life. Belief can be broken down in so many ways. It's what you believe will happen, what you believe about yourself, your belief system, which is what you believe to be true and what you believe to be right and good, what you believe about who you are. The stronger that your belief is, the more likely it is that you will achieve the outcome that you want. And we see this throughout history, in current day. We see this in ancient times in the Bibles. We see it everywhere. We see this in athletes like Michael Jordan. We see this in amazing inventors and entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk. And we see that their belief is actually what got them the miraculous results. They had talents, but it would have been impossible without their belief. They achieve those things because they don't believe anything else is possible for them. It's a foregone conclusion already in their minds that this thing will happen. And that is the power of belief. It's a superpower. We see this in the Bible. Jesus talks about faith and belief when he performs miracles. He says that we have the power to do the same things as him with belief, power to move mountains, all these things. And even if you're not a spiritual person, even if you don't like those kind of things, I would say this: if you're someone that wants to achieve something extraordinary, isn't that statement worth looking into? That you can do anything with belief? I don't believe anything is impossible. I bet you don't either, being a high performance person who's trying to do something and trying to build something. Anything is truly possible, but you have to really, really believe it, and you have to be specific. Expectation is part of that belief, and it's the manifestation of the belief, right? Expectation is the thing that gets put into action. So you expect a certain outcome. And guess what? There's no downside to expecting the outcome that you want, a positive outcome that you actually desire, even if that thing doesn't happen. We doubt ourselves to save ourselves the disappointment if the thing doesn't happen. But when you doubt yourself and you don't expect a positive outcome, you've also forfeit the faith and the belief, which forfeits the potential upside attached to those things. When you expect a negative outcome, you always have a negative outcome. So that's kind of a dumb thing, right? By the way, when I'm saying this, I'm telling it to myself. Hear this: like, if you always expect a positive outcome and it doesn't happen, you'd be no more worse off than if you expected a negative outcome. But here's the thing: even if that expectation increased the probability just a little bit, isn't it worth it? Stop thinking and playing safe and small, because life is too short. Let's talk a little bit about identity. Identity is something that's actually being attacked these days. The reason it's being attacked is identity is so critical to the success of all human beings. If your identity is in the wrong place, you will act in line with where you believe your identity is, right? Where your identity is placed. And if that's in the wrong place, then you'll act a certain way and you won't achieve certain things. You won't do really great things, right? And so belief comes directly from your identity. Who you believe you are determines what you believe you can do. I have a mentor that actually says other people see you the way you see yourself. So what that means is that we can control how others see us just by adjusting how we see ourselves. And that has to do with identity. So if we want to be able to believe and expect certain outcomes, we need to make sure that our identity is rooted and in line with those outcomes. It's rooted in the right place. A few years ago, I really struggled with this stuff. I had placed my identity in how people perceive me. And I was always perceived as the person that was successful, got things done, because my identity was placed there. It was making me afraid to try things that would potentially fail. That's the only way you achieve anything in life, is by trying things and failing. So it was keeping me from trying things that would potentially fail, just to preserve this aura that I thought I had to keep up to other people around me. And so for the longest time, because my identity was in this idea of a successful person, I wasn't successful in my eyes, and because I wasn't achieving the things that I thought I was meant to achieve and meant to go after, because I was scared that I would give up this perception of me, which is totally weird and backwards, by the way. I had to work towards finding that and work really hard to moving my identity, right? And moving my self-worth and all that into different places. And I kept moving, and I was literally like in my head, like picturing it moving around to safer places. And that was hard. But so many of us business owners, we have our identities in our business, probably like I did. But what if that all fails? What if it doesn't fail? What if it's really, really successful and you sell your business and you lose that identity? It's in the wrong place. So your goal should be to get your identity to something that never changes. One of the ways that I fixed that was to really dig deep into figuring out and understanding at least what I think my mission and objective on this planet is. I moved my identity to be more in line with that. That allowed me to try things that may fail because I'm not still failing on my mission. I'm just failing on that action. There's also another reason to get clear on your identity, because when you gain the success that you're going after, you're going to have people who hate on that success and hate on you. And if your identity is in the wrong place, that's actually going to be a giant pile of suffering. It's going to torture you because your identity is in the wrong place. And maybe that's why the success hasn't even come yet. Maybe that needs to be moved. Maybe it's protecting you. If your identity is in the success, then you'll never actually try to be successful because you'll be scared of failing. And that's the paradox and the thing I want to hammer home about identity being connected to belief. If your identity is weak and in the wrong place, then you'll never have the strength to actually believe what you need to believe to achieve the things that you actually want. And so change your identity, and that'll allow you to change your belief and actually get what you achieve. How do you root your beliefs and your identity and create the right profile for yourself so that you can actually achieve the things that you want? So here are some steps that I think may be helpful for you based on my experience. The first step is explore where you actually get your identity. You have to find where your self-worth is today. And if it's in anything that can be shaken, you've got to work to move it. You may move it from things that are maybe easily shaken, like maybe you get your identity out of social media likes. That's easily shaken. Maybe you move it from there to something that's a little harder to shake. Maybe it's like, your business or maybe your purpose in life. I'm not saying that you should put your identity in your business, but it's probably better than putting it in social media likes. And then maybe you even elevate it even further to something more existential, like your place in God's kingdom or your role and responsibility on this planet as deemed by the person who created you. When you can get it to a place that is impossible to shake, you are impossible to stop, and your belief is unlimited. Number 2, adjust how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as weak, incapable, or poor? Do you see yourself as bad with money? I hate it when I hear people say that they're undisciplined, because there is no way that they're going to be successful at anything in life if they see themselves as undisciplined or if they are undisciplined. The truth is those words are just hurting you. They're probably not undisciplined, but by seeing themselves as undisciplined, they certainly will be. People see you the way you see yourself. And so this is also where expectation comes in. You can't expect a positive result if you don't see yourself as someone who can do the things to actually get that result. And so you have to adjust how you see yourself. Number 3, you have to channel your focus. Your thoughts and your focus will determine your outcome. What you focus on expands. Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. And that's definitely true, right? Wherever we focus, that's where our energy is. So what should you focus on? You should focus on good things, excellent things, the things that are top of their game, the things that you want to achieve. Focus on the outcome that you're trying to get, and control your thoughts to not allow yourself to think of anything that could be a detraction to that, because that affects your belief, right? You don't want any doubt. You want all belief. And then you want to write these things down, right? You want to write down what you're focusing on, what you should be focusing on. This part is actually going to be your model. You're going to look at this every day, right? So you write down what you want to focus on. Number 3, you want to adjust your actions. You have to act like the person that you want to be, the person who achieves the result that you want. Now, this sounds super cliche, dress for the job that you want, all that kind of stuff. But it's completely true, because you can't achieve something different than what you currently have if you can't believe something different about the outcome that you're currently seeing, because you're the same person taking the same actions with the same identity, having the same beliefs, getting the same results. Follow me? If you don't change anything, nothing will change on the outcome side of things. And so you have to take the actions of the person who actually achieves the results that you want. So how do you do this? You write down what the actions of the person who achieves the results you want are. Not who you are, who the person that you want to be, who achieves those results is. And you have to write those down in detail. And you're going to look at those and condition those every day. Number 4, you can choose your words. So words are even more powerful than actions. And the idea of sticks and stones breaking your bones, but words never hurting you, that's completely untrue. Words have more power than you think. They have more power than most actions. And evidence of this is just looking at the damage that is caused all over social media. Words cause more damage than actions. Words lead to actions. But just like actions, you can't achieve a result speaking in a negative way about the result. You can't say, I'm undisciplined, and at the same time have a desire to be a disciplined person. You must change the words that you say. And so you need to speak only words that are in line with your outcomes. You should listen to words from others and from whatever source of inputs that you have. Listen to words that are only in line with the outcomes that you want. And then you write these down in detail. What are the words that you want to speak to yourself and to come out of your mouth, right? How do you speak? How does the person that you want to be to achieve these things speak? Number 5 is condition it. So you have to practice this daily, right? You're going to have to practice so much because you're breaking habits that were ingrained, early in your life. You have to practice this daily and create the new self and break the old self. The truth is, if you focus on belief, defining your identity, you can literally do anything. It's amazing. It's actually a superpower. It's so powerful, and yet there are simple ways to bring it to life. So look, I hope this was helpful for you. Hope it helps you live out a high performance and God-honoring life. And for more tips like this from me or to work with me, please visit kennethott.com. Until next time, thanks and never stop growing.